What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color playing as Oranos. His name is TIGERBOSS. His opponent today in the red color playing as Zeus. His name is Revan. This is a best of 3 for the Heimdall group of the competitive mega random tournament. What a time to be alive is the phrase I love to use because honestly, it doesn't get any better than this. Tournament on new maps. Every single map is different. It's never going to get boring. This is what Age of Mythology, I feel, was meant to be when it was created, and that's what we're going to get here. So Revan deciding to kick things off with his Zeus here. You can't veto. There are no vetoes in this tournament, please. I have to read the rules. There's no vetoes in this tournament. You have to deal with the map you get. That is one of the big rules of this tournament, which is pretty funny, but is what it is. As the scouting is going to continue here. Unfortunately, there, Revan getting a little bit stung from one of the rules here. The reason being is that this is a competitive map set. The only time I would allow any sort of veto is a step in from an observer to say, look, the map is unfairly balanced in this way, therefore we are going to step in and veto the game where that is concerned. The fact of the matter is, the map gives everyone exactly the same resources. There are checks in place to make sure that this happens, and therefore your opponent getting these three elk, you're going to get the Oranos is going to get these 3 elk. The Oranos here gets these 9 deer. This means the Zeus is going to get 9 deer over here as well. Even more deer being found. So we're actually seeing that this is a relatively high hunt map for Revan. He's going to be happy about that one. And we'll see how the players are going to come as we continue. The big thing about no vetoes is that, one, it slows down a tournament and it's annoying for me. So that's a big one. But the more important one is that adaptation in this tournament is the name of the game. Or you missed your side leg until the 6th minute mark. No worries. Your opponent probably also missed their side leg. You got to adapt. How do you move in that time of the game, and how do you work out how to get an advantage from discovering this thing? Just for an example here. So, Temple now coming up for TIGERBOSS. I imagine he's going to be attempting his best to get to the classical age for a 4:30 advance time here. Revan going a little bit slower here. He's chucking up his temple. He's kind of put an average storehouse down. Generally speaking, you want to put your storehouse down on a long amount of forest as opposed to on a corner like this. This can be a little bit slow. However, I do understand the desire to want to put your storehouse down close to a sentry tower. It's probably why he's picked this location over here. There is this tower here with a similar problem of the forest, but you know, that is what it is. And now we're seeing Revan getting the remainder of his food. Going to be advancing just a little bit slow here against the Oranos of TIGERBOSS, but end of the day here, it doesn't matter a big deal. He's going through Hermes. He's probably going to be going for those centaur here and trying to make that work somehow. Oh no, he's not going for the centaur. This to me looks like a town center if I've ever seen one before. Now, 2 town center Greek can work against Atlantean, and we've seen it work time and time again. However, this town center over here, not the best. This town center over here, not the best for a 2 town center play. Revan might even have to cast Ceasefire in order to get said town center up. So we'll see how he's going to do and what's going to happen where that's concerned. As we see the military barracks, counter barracks getting dropped down here for TIGERBOSS. No real surprises there. Sometimes you might see Oranos players going double counter barracks against a Greek player in the early stages of the game, but that's mostly the Oasis spawns, the very low hunt spawns where the Oranos player might decide to go no economic guild and work their way forward from that position there. But obviously, we have seen the standard start here for TIGERBOSS as Revan's now dropping down his own military academy. Still no real attempt here at a second town center, just getting himself the military academy up. It's really surprising me. I'm not exactly sure what Revan's plan is here, but he is rushing Olympic parentage here as a kind of statement to say, I advanced a little bit late here. I'm going to try and get some advantages because of that. So, for example, advancing late when you go for an Athena rush, you might want to get out your Minotaur straight away. This here is an interesting statement because what Revan is saying is, I value Olympic parentage over something else here that you could spend that 200 food on. So let's check out the exact HP that these units are getting. You're getting 62.5 HP on the Jason, and you're getting 80 HP on the Odysseus. That is roughly equal to 2 units worth of HP. So it's kind of making me feel like it's maybe even worth it. However, right now, Revan is walking straight into a very, very scary looking Oranos army. And Revan will have to retreat back as more hoplites are getting built here. We are, in fact, seeing Revan just simply going pure hoplite, no Hippocon in this game, which I don't actually hate a ton. We'll see if it's going to work or not, especially if Revan's going to start pumping onto the favor and getting some Centaur out behind him. As we do see over here, Shockwave onto the Centaur, and the Centaur will indeed get taken out. Nice play from TIGERBOSS to catch that one there, as Revan still hasn't managed to get himself any real upgrades for his Centaurs to get away. That's the Sylvan Law technology making his Centaur into Centaur pole marks. So he's gonna be a little bit sad about losing that one, but that's kind of what Oranos is, and that's what Shockwave is. You have to play around that somewhat, as you do see a cheeky hoplite raid coming in to this location here. He's going to attempt to hit these villagers on this hunt over here. 2 hoplites can take down a mana fairly slowly, but you will be able to pick it off. I think it would be much better worth it to actually go after the mana instead of the citizen, as the hoplites will indeed start doing that. And you can see that damage coming through fairly quick here. However, units have been rerouted over here to take down these hoplites, as Revan's hoplites are doing everything that they possibly can over there. Now he has to retreat back as TIGERBOSS is trying to get a little bit aggressive over here. This beautiful wall temple house system that Revan has constructed is going to keep his food incredibly safe over here. I'm not 100% sure if this is completely blocked off on that side or not, but it's definitely blocked off in the middle of the map. As you can see, the water would probably find that it connects itself, as we do see those Hero Mamillos coming through, the hoplites retreating away. That's going to be a little bit annoying here. Revan's going to take a lot of damage as he's trying to retreat back home. Meanwhile, pushing in on the front over here, allowing Revan saying, yep, time to take this fight here. He's got the Jason, he's got the Odysseus, he's got a handful of those hoplites, those Terma, very, very useless in these fights. And TIGERBOSS says, all right, time to retreat. Just going to wait on that medium infantry and see what he can do here. As now we see a second town center getting dropped. This is relatively standard for Oranos in this matchup, getting these early-ish second town centers. However, on a high hunt-ish map like we're seeing here, I actually think that Revan's got a really good chance here to stay one town center and utilize a relatively early Hephaestus here to counter everything that the Oranos wants to do. The idea being you go for an early Apollo Hephaestus, you allow the Oranos to take map control, you have to make sure you get 2 town centers after that, and then you go for an underworld play on a town center at the back in order to get level advantage, and you take the win with Myrmidon Heliopoli. So you do see these Centaur getting chased down by those Hero Murmillo, but the Murmillos are getting torn up here from the army, which Revan has constructed. The bolt onto that Hero Murmillo is enough to push TIGERBOSS back here as Revan takes a significant advantage now. He's managed to push TIGERBOSS back, neutered the Oranos army of Terma down to 1 here, and it is effectively just Murmillo being made by TIGERBOSS, and Revan has to be incredibly happy with the situation that he's now found himself in. As TIGERBOSS retreating back home, we see the villagers just about to finish up on this hunt. There are berry bushes over here. There are aurochs over on this location. There are aurochs on this location as well, so plenty of hunt remaining here. Not only that, they've got chickens, we've got berries. There's no herdables, it seems, remaining on this map as TIGERBOSS is finishing up his own herdables here. And Revan, 90-ish population of 115. TIGERBOSS, 109 of 130. I actually low-key love that Revan didn't bother getting his upgrades for the Centaur. The Centaur are actually, I mean, they're only 5.00 speed, so they're pretty slow. But if he's not looking for raids with them or anything, he can save that wood and just invest in other stuff here. And the big thing that's happened, or the big thing that I thought would have been more of a factor in this game, which hasn't really been, is that early Olympic parentage coming in. These heroes haven't taken any real damage just yet. As now Revan going to be making his way forward. There are a couple of Chiroballister here, so you do have to be careful. The Chiroballister have got themselves 50% pierce armor. I do believe that the special shot cannot be used on the Chiroballister because they are indeed considered siege units, not like infantry or cavalry or whatever you want to call. They are considered siege units, so you don't get the special ability onto them, but you can kind of snipe Chiroballister in a weird way with those Centaur. As the villagers now moving forward, and Revan is deciding to get his own second town center in the middle of the map. I don't like this play here from Revan. I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. This allows TIGERBOSS to get a really, really strong Heroic Age timing or a really, really strong Mythic Age timing here. And the Zeus player can get stuck in the Heroic Age pretty badly. However, Revan has managed to hold on to his ceasefire, which gives him an extra minute that he otherwise wouldn't have had if he had gone with Athena in this situation. So we'll see where he wants to go. It's looking like he wants to be pretty aggressive with these hoplites. The sentry tower here will spot the army movement, and you do have to be careful if the hoplites are going to go for a town center dive, which can be pretty good and can prevent a town center from getting to the Heroic Age in this position. Could be great as we do see the units coming through. However, the problem is, unlike against a Kronos or against Gaia in this situation, the hoplites would be able to move faster than the enemy Murmillo because they are Zeus hoplites, but against the might that is a Oranos hoplites, it's not the same. You have to kind of manage your way a little bit better, as he is managing to take a decent fight over here while his hoplites are distracting the rest of his army. The Murmillo hero is chasing down the Centaur hero of Revan, as we see a cheeky ghost building attempt there from TIGERBOSS. Not quite enough, and Revan has to bail on this one as Thea is just about to pop. He's kind of mismacroed a little bit here with the 1,400 gold in the bank, 500 wood in the bank as well. It might be worth it to just say, look, I'm going to have to go 3 town centers, boom, and just try and hold. As we see a couple more buildings getting thrown down, archery ranges getting thrown down. I don't mind that in this current situation that Revan's found himself in, considering all of those Murmillo are coming in. However, the next movement here for TIGERBOSS oftentimes is going to be palace destroyers, so those archers become pretty useless. So you do see TIGERBOSS not only dropping a market, but dropping a market immediately in the corner, signifying that he's going to both get a trade route and be going to the Mythic Age here before Revan's even close to clicking up to the Heroic Age. The villager differential here is exactly the same, however. We've got 60 villagers for Revan to 20 citizens for TIGERBOSS. So Revan has really kept it close in terms of the economy, but he has lost a lot of his advantages here by mismacroing kind of this badly at this stage and not going for this Auroch over here, though there is a potential that Revan just didn't scout it, which would be a little bit unlucky, I guess, as the Heck Gate on the way. And do we see any sort of attempt at Palace? Not just yet, but the Town Center going up makes a lot of sense here for TIGERBOSS, just taking his time, making sure he's getting things in the right order. 2 Town Center into Mythic Age. Makes some sense here with the 3rd Town Center follow-up. I would have liked to see maybe a few less units being made, allowing TIGERBOSS's citizen count to gradually keep coming up. Instead of being stuck at 20 here, he should be at 25, which is the max citizen numbers. And that just comes down to the fact that TIGERBOSS is overproduced on military and or not fought enough here. As some Toxotes over here getting taken down, the archery range getting broken down as well. But Toxotes in the back getting a little bit of extra DPS down before the fighting really starts to ensue. Now we do have a Stymphalian bird in the main base of Revan. We've got the Town Center up now for Revan as well, as the units starting to break through this location here. Revan's at 126 of 145 population, deciding to take this fight here. The Toxotes jumping out of this location, and we do see a ceasefire getting dropped as TIGERBOSS's Mythic Age comes in. One thing I would have liked to see is actually the ceasefire after the Tartarian Gate gets dropped, so you know where to send your heroes. But that's okay. The Tartarian Gate gets dropped anyways. So point being here is when the Tartarian Gate gets dropped, send your heroes over. Ceasefire, send your heroes over, and then the Tartarian spawns are going to be the units that attack the heroes, and you have the units garrisoned in the town center. And then after the Tartarian spawns start targeting down the heroes, you drop the units out, you take down the Tartarian Gate, the heroes take the Tartarian spawns out, you sacrifice your town center, and you win it back with Underworld somewhere. That is the game plan here for Revan. We'll see if he can pull it off or not as he's throwing down some more buildings and what have you here. As we see exactly what we were talking about coming in. The heroes doing a good job. The hoplites swinging through, going to try and take the Tartarian Gate down. Meanwhile, the army of TIGERBOSS getting some good damage in onto this position. The Toxotes trying to dart in and out of this location, trying to take the Cryoballister down. We see a palace getting dropped here as well. Shockwave getting cast onto this position as the Odysseus trying to take down these Tartarian spawns as best as he can. DarthRevan not bringing his villagers over here really to help take this one out is being a little bit carefree, lackluster, whatever the word is, but just not quite able to kill this one off as fast as he would have liked here. In fact, it's going to be living with just a little bit of HP. And the other thing with this one is that TIGERBOSS has also gotten himself Masons during that ceasefire, as Dionysus is now 50% of the way through for Revan. Considering the only real way to win in this situation would be an Underworld, I do not like this Dionysus in the slightest. Maybe the Hydra is going to be enough to take down this Tartarian Gate or finish it off, but it's a tough order to fulfill here for Mr. Revan here, as TIGERBOSS just about to finish off this town center. He gets out of Fire Siphon. He's got 2 citizens fought. 2 of the palace are down. Irrigation coming through as well. 28 citizens have been created in total. As soon as the town center falls, I'm sure TIGERBOSS is going to be making the effort into dropping his town center here. Meanwhile, archery rangers will be falling as well. Over here we see the Terma going for some cheeky scouting action here. And in that moment, Revan does decide to tap out. GG, well played by TIGERBOSS. Definitely a very, very nice timing here to punish the delayed Zeus kind of advances in this game here from Revan. Now, all of the things I'm saying, if you execute it perfectly here, would be a decent idea. If you can get yourself those 3 town centers with the idea of sacrificing one of those town centers as a delay while you deal with the Tartarian Gate, into an underworld, that makes a lot of sense to me, because your opponent's going to be pushing on this town center. You deal with the Tartarian gate. As soon as the Tartarian gate's down, their armies all here. You underworld this back town center. You kill this back town center. You take this town center. Your 3 town centers apiece. Your Mythic Age with Hephaestus. You win the game. That would be the idea here for Revan, but just not able to execute it. TIGERBOSS playing this one fairly decently, though. Personally, I don't like his second town center. It seems to work here because Revan didn't stay 1 town center himself. But it was a nice way to play it nonetheless. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.